Good everyone, and welcome to this video. Today it's a review on the Italian BF-109 G-14AS. Now, I'm not entirely certain what the AS stands for, but I think it means awesome. Now, I know that's obviously not the proper designation for it. I don't care, because I absolutely love this thing. Now, the regular G14 in the German tree I quite liked. However, I did notice it did feel a bit wheezy at higher altitudes. Now, if you don't know what I mean by wheezy, it's like it felt a bit weak compared to its opposition, especially like the G6 and the G10. It felt a little weak. I don't know if that's just me, but that's how it felt. It's when I got into the G14AS and started spading it and got the engine mods done, I really felt a difference. Now, if we go into the German tech tree and we look at where is it? The G10, 430 miles an hour. G14, 419. G6, 415. I don't know why, but I really thought that the G14 and the G10 were the better ones. However, the G14, as you can tell, has quite a big speed drop compared to the Italian one at higher altitudes. As you can tell, 434 miles an hour. Obviously, I'm running pods. I always run pods on 109s. I still need to spray the K4 at some point. I haven't flown it in a while, let's just say. But it's down to this engine. 1250 horsepower on 100% power, but almost 1800 on web. Now, obviously, this depends on the altitude, but to be honest, this thing felt good even on the deck. It felt good. And with the excellent controllability of the aircraft, I was able to pretty much handle myself in most situations. But don't worry, once we get to the G56, which you can see right there, that's when it gets into the fun parts. You don't see the Spade icon. It's not technically done yet, but I don't care. It's just one bomb rack, so I'll probably do it today after this recording. I'll see. But obviously, the aircraft typically is, well, typical with 109s is armed with just two 13mm machine guns and a single 20mm cannon when stock. As always, this firepower is good enough, but it really needs those air target belts and the 20mm. The single 20mm works pretty well with air targets, but you know me, I love a bit of extra darker, so I put on the 20mm. And well, anyone who puts on this cannon, the MK108, I'm having you shot. I fucking hate the 30mm. Don't get me wrong, it can do some damage, but I really don't like the cannon, as I've probably reiterated in the past. Armor is exactly the same as the G14 that the Germans get, as well as the G10 and the G6. They're all the same. They're pretty good in terms of armor protection, and they most of the time the G series 109s and the K model 109s mainly die to either the tail snapping off or the wing snapping off. It's very rare I see a fuel tank fire from a late model 109. Most of the time, the thing that catches fire is the engine, because obviously it's unprotected by any armor plating of any kind. But like I say, I really think this is probably one of the best 109s to fly in War Thunder, especially when you get it upgraded. So let's go into the stats of the vehicle. It's quite far back. There we go. 3 deaths, 16 kills, 20 ground targets, and 2 ships, which I honestly don't remember killing any ships in this thing. That was probably when I first started it and just left it to gather dust. But yeah, it was a good bird to spade. I really do have to reiterate that. It's a monster once you get it upgraded. Stock it's okay, but upgraded, Jesus Christ, this thing's good. But obviously not to blow smoke up my own arse, but I did pretty reasonable in this aircraft, and it's really good. It climbs well, it dives well, and the controllability for a 109 is actually really good. So let's get into the battle and let's get cracking. Obviously, we're gonna get this thing reviewed and everything, because well, I feel sorry for my hard drive at the moment because, well, all it's full of is Spade reviews for the most part. It's got a couple of like miscellaneous ones, but obviously you'll see those obviously for me. So I am joined in this battle by one of my new subscribers by the name of Troll Gaming, and he's part of TYT named Quebblecop, which I let's just say it ringed a bell, because back in the days when I used to watch more lesser War Thunder related videos and stuff like that, I did actually used to watch Quebblecop. But he does not have a mic. I was talking on mic at the time. Well, he does have a mic, he's just never used it because it was late at night whenever we played. Because, well, I've been a busy bloke. And let's just say, this thing's good. This thing's really good. So in this battle, I did have pods on, yes I did. So at this time, I was... Oh, what was I at in terms of the Spade? I think it was about either halfway done, or about 3/4 done. One of the two. Obviously, you'll notice that Quebblecop is obviously using the chat feature because, well, he can't talk on the mic at like... he said it was midnight wherever he is, so I don't actually know where he was. But obviously, in fact, no, I'd have just gotten the pods during this battle. Obviously, at that point, I was saying to him like, I've always had a bit of a worrying thing about people doing formation flying, because trust me, I've had far too many mid-air collisions with people who cannot fly in formation. I would have been about quarters done then, because this thing's not climbing as well as it actually would. Trust me, this thing is a monster once you get it going. And he was saying at the time, you like G-14AS, you should, it's bloody good, and, well, mate, I'm spading it, and I fucking love it. Let me tell you that much. But, obviously, got a 109 there, and, well, I decided to engage this 109. Well, it's not 109, Spitfire. I score a crit, I believe I blew a flap or one of the elevators off of it. And I feel sorry for him because he doesn't appear to be running any sort of ground target ammunition. So in other words, his guns are going to spark. So obviously, in terms of priority target, I would either want to get rid of that Tempest or that Spitfire over there, because I believe that Spitfire is it's an LF, so you do want to kind of get rid of it. Teammate dove down there to deal with that Spitfire that I crit. This Spitfire comes up and comes for a head-on. Blast him right in the engine with a meaningless shot, and that is going to be my first kill, I believe. But if you look at my team, we've lost 4 planes already, and well, most of them did nothing. They just map it. Quebblecop says in chat there, 109s are hard planes to fly, not in my opinion. First kill on that Spitfire, which just burnt down. But you can see, like, this thing's got excellent controllability, even at these sorts of speeds. And even though it's not even got the engine mods done at this time, it was flying really good. Now, some people are going to berate me for that kill, second kill, because the Mustang was missing a wingtip. But, it's not on fire, so it's fair game, and he seemed to be controlling it reasonably well, so I don't deem that a kill steal. So that's my second kill of the game, and obviously I've still got quite a bit of ammo left in the gun pods and the main 20mm. But obviously we've got quite a few enemy aircraft which I'm really concerned about. Specifically the P-47N, that Tempest, and there's also 2 Wyverns. Now Wyverns are not that big a deal in my opinion. But if the pilot knows what they're doing, they can give you a pretty bad day at the office, let's just say. So I was looking around at this point, and it's at this point I spot a dot. Obviously Quebblecop's up at altitude and he's trying to engage a P-51D30 pilot. Obviously, this is a 21-minute battle. I'm not going to make you sit through the whole thing, trust me. It felt longer, but that's just typical. It's like whenever you say, oh, I've got an hour to kill, I'll play some, like, I don't know, I'll play something easy, like Minecraft. And then you end up playing Minecraft for like 3 hours, and it doesn't feel like it. Now, obviously, don't be that moron and head on a Narval, because it's got 6 20mm cannons, and they will, well, 3 20mm are good, but 6 are better. Honestly, Germany, why did you not put double gun pods on these 109s? That would have been amazing. Just having the engine mounted 20mm, then 2 sets of gun pods, and then changing the 13s to like 7.92s, because I prefer those. That'd be a monster. Obviously, there was double gun pods mounted on like Focke-Wulf 190s and stuff, but even so, 3rd kill. And it just felt like this aircraft, obviously the controllability I was very happy with. For a 109 it had really good controllability. And to say, when I was starting out in the later model 109s, like when I was a noob and not very experienced with them, and to think I used to hate these things. I used to hate G series and the K series, but I really like them. I have to admit, I really like them. So I'm reclimbing at this point. Obviously, Quebecop is obviously dealing with that D30, and he didn't actually know what to do against the D30. Obviously, he's quite inexperienced with dealing with D30s. It seems. I asked him how his fuel was, and he's still got plenty of fuel. I had about 8 minutes left. However, it's around about this point, I'm going to spot I believe it's a Wyvern. And obviously, I'm going to move to engage it. Now, the P-51 pilot is doing pretty much the only thing he can do in this situation, and that's climb and try to outrun Quebecop, which is fair enough. I would do the same in a D30. But for some reason, Quebecop takes it as him trying to run. I don't think he is, because, well, as we saw there, he's not at particularly high speed. But he's trying to gain altitude, which is fair enough. I would do the same in that D30. So here comes the first Wyvern. Now, I don't mind Wyverns, however, these fuckers are very loud for headset users, so headset user beware. But don't worry, I turned down the sound already. But even so, those fuckers are really loud. Like, I know it's a turboprop, guys, but do you really need to give us all earache? Like, I suffer with headaches as it is, but even so. Obviously, I am running stealth in the 13mm machine guns. That's my recommendation. I don't really like them. But at this point, I go and chase the Wyvern, which, well, some people are probably going to laugh at that, but if I was spaded, I would have had a better chance. But obviously, with it being a turboprop, it is just going to pull away. I've scored some damage, however, I'm not going to get the assist later on, which I think is a load of bollocks, as you can see oil streaming out that thing. But whatever, I'm not that fussed. I'm on 3 kills, 1 assist already. My best result was 4 kills on a load of bombers and stuff like that. This P-47N makes a dive on me. I obviously drop the flaps and I start doing some aggressive turns to obviously shake him off. And, well, I'm throwing the 109 around. He scores a couple of hits, but obviously the armor plating takes it. And I eventually force the P-47 to overshoot by cutting back my throttle. And, well, he just keeps flying straight, which, well, that wasn't smart. 4th kill. And that is my final kill of this match. Well, in terms of aircraft. So at this point, I start heading back to base. Quebecop's engine has been destroyed, and he is eventually going to crash land because the P-51 is going to... he's going to return to his base and start repairing and stuff like that. Quebecop joke, I think he meant jokingly, puts in chat P-51 OP. They ain't. It's like saying a yak is OP. They're not. They're just, they're good, but they're not. The flaps on this aircraft do take some time to retract, I noticed. They also take a bit of time to come down. I don't know why The replay is showing it as like, yeah, they're gonna be like coming down quickly. They're not. They're pretty slow for the most part. So now it's down to me, a TAR 152, and a G-14AS. The TAR's already taken off and is going to get a head start on us to catch up to that D30. The G-14AS is completely out of ammunition. I'm completely out of ammunition pretty much because one of my guns jammed when I used it for braking on landing. And Quibblecop has just crash landed on a field. So, let's skip ahead and, well, how do we win this thing when I don't get any more kills, obviously? Why would I continue to show it now? Well, if there's one thing the 20mm on these aircraft can do, it's kill light tanks on this map. Now the PvP-1 takes off and starts making his way on the deck for some reason. He doesn't even try to climb, but obviously the TAR dives on him. And I think at this point, well, I could engage the P-51, but I thought, well, the TAR's obviously got a superior energy advantage at this state. Obviously, he's got the altitude advantage. Obviously, he's just doing a roll over here. I figured, no, there's not really much point of me going for the P-51 when I'm fairly certain the TAR has got it under control. So I decide, well, where's the light tank? Because on the German side, you get to kill light tanks, which the 20mm on this aircraft can do, and there is one. Now, I didn't have the new 20mm at the time, but yeah, the nose one's reasonably accurate. First ground kill. Obviously, I was looking around for another one, because, well, there was a lot of mediums, but I eventually find another light tank, which is just there, that one there. And obviously, you have to come in from behind to kill them. The air target's belt does get one 20mm armor piercing incendiary round, which is more than enough to deal with a light tank of that kind. And well, that's the end of it. So what I think of the G-14, like I say, this thing is really good. I really recommend people give this thing a go. I know for a fact that, obviously I've chatted to DTT and all that. He had a reasonable time. Well, he didn't have a great time with it, I should say. But other opinions always apply when it comes to aircraft like this. But yeah, I highly recommend giving this thing a go. It's really good. It's got great performance. It's got great controllability, and it's got good firepower once you get the 20mm gun pods on it. And even without the gun pods, it's pretty good, as all 109s are. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will obviously let you guys off. I hope you enjoyed on the 109 G-14AS, and obviously the last Italian prop fighter will be the G-56 review, so maybe something might come soon enough to obviously bolster up Italy to like obviously get all the other nations done and move on to jets someday. But anyway, I'll let you guys off. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all on the next one.